Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala sayyidil anbiya'i wal mursaleen amma ba'd. Faya a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So today we will continue our discussion about the issue of earth motion and the refutation we are providing of Engineer Mirza Ali, who has recorded one lecture before 3 months to criticize the book of Sheikh Ahmed Khan on the issue of earth motion. So we have already done 2 separate lectures to refute his 2 of the arguments, and now we are going to take the 3rd argument, what he is trying to understand, but he is not able to understand. So first let us all here listen what he has to say about that. So listen carefully.
एक बात वो मान गए कि बुजुर्गों के पास जो इल्म साइंस था वो कमजोर था, और ज़ाहिर आला हज़रत ने खुद कोई इन्वेंशन नहीं की है, हमारे फलकियात की चीज उन्होंने कोट की है। फिर वो आला हज़रत उसमें कहते हैं कि जब ये 13 लाख गुना बड़ा है तो और ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स भी एग्जिस्ट करती है, तो अगर सूरज के गिर्द जमीन चक्कर काट रही होती है अगली दलील होते हैं, तो 13 लाख बंदे अगर एक तरफ खड़े हों और एक बंदा एक तरफ हो, तो 13 लाख बंदे उस एक बंदे को घसीट नहीं लेंगे अपने तरफ। तो कहते हैं कब से ये जमीन जो है ना सूरज के अंदर जाके गिर के खत्म हो गई होती है, अगर हम आपकी ये वाली बात मान लें कि उसके गिर्द रोटेट कर कुव्वत कशिश सकिल ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स की वजह से। तो इसका साइंटिफिक आंसर ये है, आला हज़रत के मानने वालों को ही दे सकते हैं, ज़रा वो तो अल्लाह के पास जा चुके हैं, कि सिर्फ सेंट्रीपिटल फोर्स नहीं होती है, सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स भी होती है, और ये दोनों फोर्सेस जब बैलेंस होती है ना, फिर कोई चीज किसी दूसरी चीज के गिर्द रोटेट करती है। तो वो जो जमीन जाके सूरज में गिर नहीं जाती, वो इस वजह से कि जमीन को अल्लाह ने रफ्तार इतनी दी है घूमने की कि वो रफ्तार सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स, वो फोर्स जो सेंटर से आपको दूर की तरफ लेके जाती है, वो इतनी फोर्स है कि उसको अंदर गिरने से रोकती है। और इसको आप ऑब्जर्व करेंगे मौत के कुएं के अंदर, मोटरसाइकिल जब स्पीड में घूमता है तो वो मौत का कुआं जो सर्कस में होता है तो वो उसके ऊपर तक आ जाता है, तो बीच में क्यों नहीं गिरता? अपनी स्पीड की वजह। लेकिन अगर थोड़ा सा ऊपर चलेगा तो बाहर जाके जरूर गिर जाएगा। तो जमीन की भी जरा सी फोर्स डिस्टर्ब होती तो जमीन सूरज को छोड़ के भाग जाती, और जरा सी कम होती तो सूरज के अंदर गिर के फना हो जाती। ये अल्लाह ने पहले से। अल्लाहु अकबर कबीरा वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि कसीरा व सुब्हानल्लाहि बुकरतन व असीला। God is the only explanation of all the physical phenomena in this universe. खुदा ही वजाहत है इन तमाम चीजों की। आप घर में भी तजर्बा कर सकते हैं किसी।
So as we saw that he's trying to say on one of the arguments where Shaykh Ahmed Khan is discussing about the attraction and attraction force, and he says that how it is possible for one person to resist the force of 1.3 million people and stay on the same position instead of going, taking orbit circle around 1.3 million person. So he is trying to understand and argue that it is because of the centrifugal and centripetal forces, and these 2 forces are the scientific fact. But this guide does not understand that Sheikh Ahmed Khan has narrated in Fawd Nabi both these 2 fundamentals of physics and astronomy and provided a critique of that. Because, as we already discussed before, the orbit of Earth taken by modern astronomy is not circle. It is an elliptical orbit, which is not at the center. So if you want to make something round, to take a circle around a point, then your force provided by the central body should be constant in all the directions, all the 360-degree directions. And if the force is constant in 360-degree direction, then the orbit should be circular, not elliptical. And this is the fundamental problem of modern and ancient astronomy, which is known as the equant problem. So first, I will show you where Sheikh Ahmed Reza Khan has discussed this uh, concept. So you see here, he discussed about the Nafriya. It means the repulsion forces. And then here, through the diagrams, he is trying to refute the fundamental notion that the central body of revolution has some kind of attraction, because when we take, and in the physics books it is narrated and taken the example of a ball and a rope. When you fix a ball in the rope and rotate, it goes around in a circular form. But that force is provided by the human being. But when we are talking about, and when this force is provided, the orbit is circular. So, but when we take the orbit of this Earth, it's elliptical. So it should go into the circular orbit, but it is not going. And that is the fundamental problem of equant. But this guy does not understand. The Shaikh Ahmad Reza Khan has already discussed and explained and debated. And he's saying that once the attraction force attracts some body, so it should move towards the center instead of going on the uh, circumstantial periphery, what we call arc, because this is the phenomena, uh, and this should be the concept which is given by Isaac Newton, because the intensity of attraction force should be same in all direction. And through the example of people like 13 lakh people who is trying to pull one person, is the same phenomena which Shaikh Ahmed Reza Khan is trying to explain on the intensity of attraction force. Because attraction force cannot comprehend the attracted body, and according to that, take his power of attraction and attract it. The body of attraction does not have any kind of consciousness. So that to attract an apple, it will apply some different force, and to attract the moon, it will attract some another force. And then he gave the example of the side, the motorbike traveling in a well, that it goes around it. But it is as simple as to understand that that well has a periphery, as a surface where the motorbike is traveling, is rotating. But in the case of orbital motion, there is no surface or structure to support the motion of any planet. And this again goes to the very basic notion of ancient astronomy, where they considered orbs, various orbs, where each planet rotates on by taking the support of that orbs. But modern astronomy, modern science does not believe in the existence of orbs, and it does not believe in the existence of the sky. So this is a total disaster of the argument. And then Sheikh Ahmed Reza Khan does not only discusses about the fundamental concept of circular motion and the relation of speed. There is one more deeper understanding of this, where Sir Isaac Newton has calculated the gravitational law by taking the example of moon. He says that moon is falling in 1 second only 1 mm, and he has used one example shown in astronomy book, which I want to show you so that you understand what Sheikh Ahmed Khan is trying to say you. So this is the book Introduction to Astronomy and Cosmology and Morrison. So let me show you why and what Sheikh Ahmed Khan has criticized the argument of Sir Isaac Newton. This is the famous thought experiment done by the Isaac Newton cannonball. And you know, this is the example which Sir Isaac Newton has taken, which is reproduced and restructured by uh, the author of this book, Morrison. He's saying like if this is the Earth and this is Moon's orbit, then this distance d, this is called the falling of the Moon, and this distance falling is 1 mm in 1 second. So instead of going in this way and in this way A to B, due to attraction force, this AB changes to AC because of attraction force. And on this very fundamental geometrical proof which Isaac Newton is trying to propose, Ala Hazrat has provided a critique of this geometrical proof of Sir Isaac Newton. And as you saw the diagram, I will show you the diagram of Sheikh Ahmed Khan. So you understand how deep knowledge he had about the modern astronomy and the works of Sir Isaac Newton. And the Kepler, you see, this is the same diagram where he's saying the same arc and this line, this alif ba and alif ha, and on this very geometrical proof and the combination of arc and hypotenuse and the angles, he has debated with the geometrical proof of Sir Isaac Newton and proved his calculation wrong. And if you're not trying to understand and consider wrong, then at least there is no way to consider that Sheikh Ahmed Khan provided a huge doubt on this geometrical proof. So this is what Sheikh Ahmed Khan Rahimullah has done while describing the orbital motion of the Earth. But this guy does not understand, even he doesn't want to read the book of Fatima Mubin. And what is the significance of this argument and the book Sheikh Ahmed Khan has written on this issue? And this is by far the only book available from the Islamic world to refute the modern astronomy. This book has so much importance, but they're trying to say that this is just for the sake of fun he has written. And this guy, and like him many others, they just come and trying to refute Shaykh Ahmad Khan without even reading that whole book. So we need to be very clear to whom we are taking our knowledge. So consistently in 3 lectures we have shown whatever he is spoken on that lecture is wrong. From so many perspectives it is wrong. But our youth, they have given up the habit of reading, doing critical analysis. They just become blind followers. And if this is our condition, then what will happen to the future? Are we able to provide the refutation of the questions posed by the modern science and its philosophy? No. Why? Because we do not want to read, we do not want to comprehend, analyze, contemplate with Allah Almighty saying throughout in His Quran. However, for today's lecture, this one issue is enough. And inshallah, in the upcoming lecture, we will discuss one more argument. What it is not argument, it's ignorance of Engineer Mirza, and then we will refute that uh, argument as well, inshallah ta'ala. And from the Imam Ahmad Khan translation moment, we wish all the followers of Shaykh Ahmad Khan very blessed, Urs Mubarak, and may Allah give us true knowledge of Shaykh Ahmad Khan and try to make us understand some portion of knowledge from his empire which he has built. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.